So I was talking about 2003. So I want to give a quick update on the whole coronavirus thing, how the UAE is responding, how I personally think that the property markets are going to react, and what investors are doing at the moment. Okay. First things first, when this thing became news, or one of the things that I realized and reflected was on my time back in 2003. I used to be a student, I was in Toronto, Canada, and we had something called SARS, right? The world had something called SARS, if some of you are old enough to remember. It was basically essentially severe acute respiratory syndrome. And Toronto was one of the only places outside of Hong Kong or China that was supposed to have it. Anyways, Toronto suffered through a softening or a very massive slowdown in tourism numbers. That summer was very slow with the tourism. And then kind of like 3 to 4 months later, kind of like the situation kind of went away, right? Nobody remembers it that bad. Nobody remembers it being certainly like this. Well, we are where we are. My outlook on life and this whole coronavirus still stays positive. I think I choose to pay attention to the numbers that state that 98% or 99% or a very large percentage of the population, they're gonna not actually feel it, or if they get, they'll feel mildly fluish. But nonetheless, it's advised for everybody to take the necessary precautions that the government, that the health ministry, etc., are giving you, right? So that's on one thing. But I wanted to share with the world, a lot of people who are not familiar with perhaps Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, etc., of what the response has been like over here in the UAE. We've seen no run up to the aisles in the shopping stores. We've seen, yeah, people have maybe bought a little bit extra, but nobody's stockpiling. The government's handled the whole situation extremely well. They've offered free healthcare, medical checks, free care for everybody, the citizens and the residents. And when the rest of the world is kind of like fearful, the government here, the leaders have come out to say, look, it's something that we are taking the necessary precautions for, but do not fear beyond what is necessary. We in the UAE have enough food for everybody. We've got enough medical supplies for everybody. We've got enough willpower, determination, resources to take care of you. The other day, there's a very large chain over here in the UAE called Carrefour. It's a French brand. It's a grocery, well, it's a departmental store. It's kind of like Walmart that you would have in the US. And I received an email from the CEO of the retail division of Majid Al Futtaim. Majid Al Futtaim essentially owns Carrefour in the UAE. And essentially he said, look, we're with you. We stand right behind you. We're doing our best to make sure that all our supply chains well stocked. There is enough for you for days, for weeks, for months. Do not panic. We stand right behind you. We are right with you. Stay calm, relaxed, go about your business. Perhaps if you're visiting our departmental store, perhaps visit alone. Don't have your kids and stuff with you. But you know what? Don't panic. There's enough food for everyone. So that's the kind of like tone that we've had so far in the UAE. They're taking their precautions, but they're not spreading fear. And the response has been one of the best, in my opinion, in the world, to make sure that people are getting tested, people are getting treated, people are getting taken care of, and the news that's getting out there is balanced so that there isn't fear that's spreading, rather hope is spreading around, right? That said, the Dubai property market's still doing pretty well in terms of people who had chosen to sell, people who had chosen to buy are still going forward with their purchases. We've had a busy last couple of weeks, even with the virus. We've been going out, doing our viewings, helping investors purchase good properties, good deals. I personally think that this is a time for everybody to learn and invest in themselves. And I'm super positive that we come out of this onto the other side, having learned several things, and having benefited from several things, right? I think that a lot of business, a lot of education, schools are closed over here as well, is going to move online, and we're going to start truly benefiting from this thing we call the internet. So the UAE is pretty normal. There is no lockdown over here, alhamdulillah. We thank God. We thank God for the blessings that we have in terms of living in a very safe country, a country that's well prepared, and a country that's willing to go the extra mile to make sure that all the residents, the nationals, the locals here feel well taken care of. One more thing that I'd like to advise is, hey, in my next video, because this is a topic that I'm a little bit passionate about, and I think most people need to hear about this. Talk to you on the other side. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon.